you guys have watched the Democrats just totally, I was kind of alluding to it earlier, like what a weird flex to melt down over something like what I said earlier was ICE trying to remove violent MS-13 gang members or, Venezuelan gang members. What a weird thing to melt down over people uncovering massive amounts of fraud and corruption in government with your taxpayer money. Like, what a strange thing to be really upset about. And they're going so far, they're doubling down so far that you now have people like Jamie Raskin who are going out there on television trying to say, maybe Elon is the one we need to impeach. Watch.
Is not like the idea that a guy who would not even be constitutionally eligible to run for president is acting as president, a guy who, if he were president, would be impeached immediately because he's taking billions of dollars in foreign government emoluments from all over the world. And some people have actually been talking about impeaching President Elon Musk right now, on the theory that he's usurped the powers of the presidency.
Guys, they don't have the ability to read the room.
No, they do not.
They don't get it.
Yeah, no, they don't. And this is particularly rich after 4 years of, they keep saying this like shadow government line.
Yep.
About something that Trump promised openly to do on the campaign trail, that he was going to establish this agency for Elon Musk.
The American people didn't vote for this.
Trump told
we did.
Everyone loud and clear multiple times on camera. He made it a central part of his campaign that he was going to do this. And now they're upset about a shadow government, which they had actually been running for the past 4 years. Nobody knew who was in charge. It was clearly probably some like leftover Obama staffers and some of the Biden people, and maybe even Hunter Biden. But it was very, this is exactly what they do. They always accuse you of the things that they have already done.
Yeah.
And I think what's so particularly upsetting about this in this moment is that, one, they don't necessarily have a unifying thing to tie the Democrat messaging together. What Elon buying X or Twitter has done, it's break the Democrat narrative machine. So nobody trusts the media anymore. They can't do like a George Floyd 2.0, right? They just can't do that because they don't have the messaging power to propagandize people like they used to. So that's one. And then number two, what he's doing is he's cutting through. The left is the party of the global American empire, sometimes called the gay. And this is what they love, giving millions of dollars for sex changes overseas, DEI musicals in foreign countries, Libyan financial management. This stuff has you couldn't even make an argument that this stuff benefits the American people. They are looting the treasury and they're getting rich off of it. And they're also spreading their ideology globally. So this is what, I don't think there was a single global leftist network that wasn't being funded by Democrats taking our tax dollars and giving it to them. Right. So this is really a death blow to not just the modern, American sort of left, but it is international. And this is a crisis, reaching crisis levels for them, and they can see the writing on the wall.
To Logan's point, you see all of what's come out with the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons' money. Not that we didn't already know that this was a giant money laundering scam, but you talk about how much Chelsea Clinton, it was discovered that she was being paid, and that, you've got these NGOs that are like paying for her wedding, and where is the NGO getting the money from? And it just becomes very sticky very quick when you start looking into the details of these people.
Yeah, they're mad at Elon, oddly enough, for simply putting, I guess, a flashlight on everything and really bringing that stuff to the American people, which is a very simple thing. It's just like, hey, do you guys know that you are paying for X, Y, and Z? And as more American people figure that out, they're going to realize, as many of us have been saying, your tax dollars for years have been pissed away. What you're seeing, and I love it. Again, this is just what Rand Paul had been doing every year with his Festivus report on a mass level, right? And it's going to happen with more and more agencies, man. It's going to be really interesting once they make their way to the Pentagon. And you really start to see just how dirty and grimy these cats are, especially the Pentagon with the trillions of dollars. Or they just up and lose oftentimes, or it goes rather unaccounted for. Let's just say that they know what happened to it, but it just goes unaccounted. Yeah, exactly. They know what happened to it. But no, seriously. The reason why they are mad, you got Al Green, not the good Al Green, but Al Green as far as Democrats and all of those guys that have been griping and complaining about what's going on, is they understand the government has historically, federal government has historically been used to fund all of their pet projects. And it's been like this for years. This isn't something that just started 4 years ago. I don't think even Trump understood how bad it was and just how much that they are subsidizing just all of these different affairs, both domestically and especially globally, as you saw with this whole U.S. AIDS thing. A funny thing about this, because I went and looked this up, there are artists that worked on that gay comic book that we've worked with before.
No.
Not even joking. And it's like, I went to talk to Cliff about it. I was like, what the hell is this? And he was like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea where that money came from. They just asked me to draw something. I'm an artist for hire, so I drew it.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's a trip. Did you know that this was coming from American taxpayers? Like, no, don't give a shit either.
Right.
To be fair, because he's Brazilian. By the way, if you don't know Cliff's a Brazilian.
Like,
he's not even from Peru, right? Like, so he's. But no, it's just when you look at it and you break that type of stuff down, you just realize just how much money is just being pissed away, quite literally, by the and like. That's just an example of somehow it ended up in Cliff's lap. But in all of these other cases, do you really believe that like these like international agencies are the ones that are getting this money to go to these causes? Probably not. It's lining up themselves. It's lining up their friends, and they're just using the American taxpayers to do it. This is something, and I'm glad the alarm is being rung on this, has been happening for a very long time. As more of these agencies get audited, you're going to see just what a lot of people, whether it be Tea Party, conservatives, libertarians, have been griping and complaining about. The government, the federal government, has a spending problem, okay? They don't need any more. Stop this whole tax the rich BS and everything. They don't need any more money. They get way too much as it is right now, and they spend it inefficiently because, to be fair, they're not designed to spend it efficiently anyway, right? They're designed to deficit spend. So I'm going to be very interested in what else goes uncovered, especially once they start getting to the Pentagon.
Yeah, well, I also would encourage them to keep it up. I want them to keep complaining about Donald Trump rooting out all of this fraud and corruption. Jasmine Crockett going up there like, we gonna come for your ass, okay? Please do. I fully support you guys doubling down on this terrible, terrible strategy because you have the polling that's come out. Let's look at the polling on DOGE and, making sure that you know where your tax dollars are going and potentially creating less tax for you. 61% of Americans support the president's plan to downsize the federal government. And then you've got one of the first polls on DOGE with 997 respondents, 62% of respondents saying that they supported DOGE's mission. This is not controversial. Another one that's not controversial anymore. Love to see this. Deportation, all of Donald Trump's mass deportation promises. These are two left-leaning polls, by the way. Okay, the first one, Ipsos Axios poll in January 2025. So after these had started, 66% of Americans support mass deportations from Donald Trump. New York Times and Ipsos, 55% of Americans support mass deportations. These are not controversial issues anymore. So please keep complaining and crying about Donald Trump literally following through on promises that he made to us on the campaign trail before we voted for him in November. Please do that. Because, by the way, Donald Trump's favorability is higher than it has ever been. 50%. Favorability right now. It's higher than it has ever been. And partially, we have the Democrats to thank for that, I believe. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.